Good morning, sports fans. Excuse me. From all around the globe, I am your host, Jeff Dawson, East Coast Sports Investors, and this is your breakfast bankroll for Saturday, April 23rd, 2022. Just 1 week left in April. The month of May is knocking at the door. Holy cow. How time has flown by. What a night last night. I can officially say we had the first real gut punch in the ECSI VIP crew in baseball this year. First five, Astros, minus a half run, minus 120. Verlander, Cy Verlander, the way he had been pitching all year. 3-0 Astros lead, top of the fourth. Feeling real good about ourselves. Scratch run by the Jays, 3-1. No problem. The top of the fifth comes, and I talk about first fives. And the key to first fives is if you can get the top of the order up for the third time to see that pitcher. That's why when you see it, lots of times a lot of damage. Well, Verlander gets the number 6 guy out and the number 7 guy out. So now we got 8 and 9. 2 outs, no guys on, 3-1 lead on minus a hook. The number 8 guy hits a homer. So it's 3-2. I'm still covering. Life's grand. I shit you not. I left the office for 15 seconds and I went to basically go grade this a winner, of course. And I saw 3-3. I literally fell off my office chair. I says, are you what? Verlander, 8 and 9 hitters? Listen, the Jays got hitters. Do not get me wrong. But this wasn't Tosca Hernandez, Bo Bichette. This wasn't Vladdy. 3-3. But don't worry, we still have 3 outs for the Astros as they go down 1-2-3, and we lose that first game of the night. Now, you know, and I know, everyone here knows, when you have 3 games, when you win that first one, you got your chest out, you're feeling great, because in your mind, you're hoping for the sweep, but at worst, you're saying, hey, let's get a split here, and let's go out 2-1, let's have some profit. We had the Rangers put up a 5 spot in the second inning, so we're feeling great. The D-backs up 1-0 in the fourth. All 3 plays were first 5. Of course, the Mets score a run, and that was a push, and Texas 5-1 first 5. So anyways, ECSI VIP, full disclosure, 1-1 yesterday. We lose some juice, and that's it for that. Shout out to the Discord channel. Shout out to a few newbies. Had some great talks last night. Had some great talks early this morning. And that's what a Discord channel is all about. Get in there, get your feet dug in, and start asking questions, or just start getting used to the community. And we had a great time with Kat last night and this morning. The ECSI family, that's right, I said family, welcomes you if you are listening here. Today, full day of action. The NBA, of course, has got the board covered at 2, 4:30, 7:30, and 10. Funny, last night, I talked about it on my rant before we dug into our games. You have no idea how the Bucks are going to come out with no Middleton. Well, they came out guns a-blazing as they go box to wire and destroy the Bulls by 30. No Booker, no problem. I shouldn't say no problem. Close game, but Phoenix does win. And, of course, the Heat come back at halftime in a mall in Atlanta, and I said something, I think it was 29-7 start in the second half, and Atlanta comes back and beats them by a 1. With all that said, let's bring him in from the Palm Tree State himself, the one, the only, Mr. Scott E. Webb. Morning, Scott.
Morning, Jeff. And I liked our Discord channel comment last night that was about Tony La Russa, because I could fire his ass in I don't know. It wouldn't take much. because I think he's costing that team a lot right now. So anyway, but good morning. I see you got your coffee going. I've already had my cup. I had a cup of hot coffee. I had an energy thing of what is it, Starbucks cold drink, and now I got my NOS. So holy shit, I'm going to explode.
Oh, back to the pale hose, the east side, south side, whatever side you want to call them. I think there's a guy still sitting in the winds. I always say Ozzie Guillen would light a firecracker under their ass right now. I know they would never go back that way, but my take on the White Sox very simply is this: I think they're in a division that they know once they get clicking, they're just going to maul them, and so we've talked here. The fact that, hey, let's just get through April. We got a week to go. May's going to be coming up next Saturday, Sunday, and the warmer weather's going to come. We'll be fine. But, it only takes a small injury here, a small injury there. Or you said a team going 9-1 versus you going, 4-6. And next thing you know, you're staring at 4 or 5 games and it can get out of hand pretty quick.
No question. And I'm not going to suggest that the White Sox aren't the best team, and I'm not going to suggest that the White Sox aren't going to win that division. However, they're being missed. I don't want to call it mismanaged. Maybe that's the wrong way to say it. I just think that they are not necessarily being inhibited to compete at the highest level. And that's coming straight from the guy who runs the team. So I think the decisions and choices that he's making at this moment in time are not in the best look for the White Sox at this moment. Now, that doesn't mean that they won't turn that around, and it doesn't mean that somewhere down the line he won't start doing things in a better way. And maybe he's just babying these guys and stuff. But I think Major League Baseball players, look, I've been there. I know what it's like. I know the life to a degree, not to the degree that those guys do, but I don't, it's one of those scenarios, I think, where they are assets to teams, and managers like Mr. La Russa at this point are treating them like assets. He's not treating them like humans and players. And he rests guys when they don't necessarily need it, and he doesn't pinch hit properly. He doesn't put his team in the best spots to win. He leaves guys out there too long to pitch, and he's not doing many things correct. And this is a team that should be winning a lot more games than they are. They got a great pitching performance out of Kopech yesterday. And even in the last inning, and I get it, the other team scores 2 runs and they go ahead 2-1. Of course, I was on the White Sox, so I'm a little bitter. But they come up and they got the bases loaded, and they got 2 guys to drive in the runs. And it's just like what you said just a minute ago. This is the 8 and 9 hole hitters. And these aren't the best hitters in the world. So the reserve backup catcher is batting with 1 out, and the pitcher Pagan was out there for the Twins, and he was struggling a little bit throwing strikes. So the bases are loaded. Yeah, I think he only gave up 1 hit, and then the rest of them were all walks. So the bases are loaded with only 1 out. And what happens to the backup catcher? He gets to a full count, and he pops up to the shortstop. Okay, well, there's now 2 outs. So then the next guy comes up, and it's Berger, and he bats 9th in the lineup. And he's a third baseman, and he takes called strike 3. Now, it was a great pitch, and it was a borderline strike. So I'm not going to sit here and say that it shouldn't have been called a strike. It was close enough, but he takes it, and it's strike 3 on a full count pitch. So I'm sitting here and I'm going, okay, your backup catcher bats 8th, and all you need is a fly ball to tie the game. And you got the absolute best hitting catcher in all of baseball, sitting on the bench. Yasmani Grandal could have come up and just flew out to right field, and then it ties the game. Anyway, so that was one guy that didn't get the chance to bat. And then you got one of the best players in all of baseball, a guy that could be an MVP kind of player. Lewis Roberts sitting on the bench, and he could have batted for Berger at ninth spot. And nope, he didn't put him out there either. So whatever. I mean, it is what it is. The choices were made and the decisions were made, and you lost the game. And you had positions. You had the ability to win. You were reliant on the guys that were on the field, and maybe that's part of the lure of Tony La Russa. But I will tell you, he's not doing it for me.
And you know what I despise in the baseball world, and it happens too often, is that these guys, I'm going to say a word that I usually don't use in baseball, but the divas, and they're not divas compared to the NBA, but the chosen ones get accustomed to certain days off in the week. A lot of them are off on Sunday. It's the travel day. Hey, Xander, you're off today. And it's the mindset. Okay. If you tell me I'm off today, I'm not coming in to pinch hit. I'm not coming into the ninth to play defense or the exact thing that you were talking about. And it happens so often where us as fans or us in these lanes are saying, hey, you got a couple studs on the bench. Let's go win the game. And it was their day off. And well, I don't care if it was their day off. They just got to get up and swing the bat. Get a base hit, get a sac fly, get us to extras. You don't have to put them back out in the field. Put someone else in the field. But that's what these guys do. Hey, it happened a lot with Mookie. It happened a lot with Mookie. Mookie had Sundays off, and we'd be rallying in the 8th or 9th and bases loaded, and Mookie's just sitting in the dugout eating sunflower seeds with his big chain, and he's dancing and he's romancing. And I'm like, hey, coach, Mookie's right there. Can you get him up for Jackie Bradley Jr. or something? But that's the life that we live, and that's the life of a manager. There are certain managers that I truly love. I am one of the biggest Tito Francona supporters in the world. He was a player's coach. He knew how to win, and if he had an opportunity to win, he would win. Cora's the same way. But if Cora does the same thing, he will address the media on why. And I think none of us liked the La Russa hiring. It made no sense. And then he gets the OUI, and it looked like they could have had an opportunity to pull that plug real quick, and they didn't. So, I say tongue-in-cheek and sarcastically, he must have some video or some dirt on the owner or something, because he shouldn't be there right now. But it is what it is. We were talking yesterday about the Padres and the Dodgers, and again, this is what I'm talking about. The Padres get out early 1-0, and anyone that had a first 5 ticket is trying to get to that window. And again, the Dodgers scratch out 2 to win the first 5, and then they go on to win 6-1. It always seems, that these teams put themselves in position to catch a ticket. And it's the Dodgers are one of those teams where when you go against the Dodgers, and you said it last week, I think we were talking about it. I'm not going to get in front of that train. They were 8-2 or something, and I think Bueller was at home or something. They ended up losing that game. But there's certain teams you don't want to get in front of. They find ways, and the Dodgers are one of them.
Well, it's interesting that the teams that played in the big games over and over and over, year after year after year, find ways to win because they're used to the spotlight. The game itself is not too much for them. They slow it down so that they can perform at the level they need to. And the Dodgers are one of those teams. I mean, they played in all the big games. So, the Astros, no matter how everybody wants to hate the Astros, they've been in all the big games. So even if they're outmanned and overmatched to certain scenarios, I think that they're another team that you got to be careful for because the guys step up and perform at levels in which you need them to perform, right? And look at the Phillies. The Phillies have stars. They have great hitters. but none of them have played the big games. And why? Because they can't get there. They're when the big games come, they're not there, and they're not there because they didn't step up when they needed them to be. And look at the White Sox. My thought was, and my prediction was at the beginning of the season, that this is a year that they'd been through it now, and that they would step up and be that team. Well, currently they're not. That doesn't mean they won't be, and it's way, way too early to make write teams off at the end. But it's not setting up very pretty, and I think that the manager must allow these guys to step up and produce.
Big board today. I'm going to use our Don Best again today. Anyone, it was on our Discord channel. I had made some notes and actually got a few DMs as well last night. There's plenty of sites that you can go to that are free to follow the tick accounts, to follow the line movements and stuff like that. What happened there? There we go. And there's some paid sites. Now, this is obviously a paid site here with Don Best there, and I call it the Bible. They've been there since the Last Supper. They're the ones to go to. But again, if you want up to the second in the casino live feeds, it's $4.99 a month, which I don't expect anyone to pay unless you're in that other side of the business. I think for around $125 a month, you can get a 2-minute delay. We are also grandfathered into Sports Insights. I talk a lot about wagertalk.com/free odds. It's one-stop shopping. You can get first half, full game, second half, team totals. There's a million ways that you can just go to this site for free, click and go, and follow Circa, Westgate, South Point, DraftKings, Caesars, WinBet, Pinnacle, BetOnline, Heritage, Consensus, and Bookmaker. But where you're comfortable is where you need to start. Where your eyes are most comfortable, you need to start. And don't be afraid to ask us any questions when it comes to these sites, because, there's a million of them out there. Vegas Insider has gone to shit. Odd Sharks out there. The list is endless. I mean, in college hoops alone, myself, use Don Best, Wager Talk, Sports Insights, Ken Palm, pregame.com. And I don't want it to be overwhelming for anyone either. So start slow, ask questions, and go from there. At the top is the 4 NBA games. Philly, Toronto. I don't know if Embiid is playing there. They're -3, so the assumption is that he is playing. Utah down 2-1, opens up -8. I assume Luka is out again. Myself and Brady Tinker had a great conversation yesterday. You can go back over to YouTube and catch that 1-hour show. It was amazing. Celtics at the Nets, 0-2 Nets, Kyrie and KD versus Jason and Mr. Brown there. I don't know if the Time Lord, Mr. Williams, is playing for the Celtics yet. I don't know why he's rushing back. Rumor has it he wants to be back, and the team does not. Well, they want to keep him out a little longer.
Says he is likely to play, Jeff.
Who's that, Williams?
Yeah.
He'll be on a pitch count. A minutes count, of course. Memphis, Minnesota. You heard my rant the other day on what happened there. Memphis -3 there. I think it'll be hard for Minnesota to come back after what happened, but we'll see there. Full slate of baseball, full slate of hockey. Scotty, take it away.
So yesterday I ended up being 1-1, and felt like I should have been 2-0, but you have those days, and I had a rain out yesterday. So today I've got 3 plays. I really have 4, but I don't know if I can release the 4th one. So we'll talk about that in a second. So the first play, I'm going to go right back to what got rained out yesterday. I'm going to go with Colorado. I'm going to go with Cinzatella today. And I know they're playing in Detroit, and I know that everybody's all revved up about Cabrera getting 3,000 hits, and I would love for that. I mean, I've been down here in Florida for a while, and I saw Cabrera play for Miami when he was a youngster. Of course, they were Florida then, the Florida Marlins. But he's a great kid. He's a great player. So I'm hoping the success for him goes and goes and goes. But at the price, I think you're getting a better value here with Colorado. So I like Skubal. I think Skubal's a great pitcher. He's a lefty. He's had 2 good starts. He has had 0 bad starts. So he's a young kid, and that doesn't mean that he's going to have 3 great starts. So I'm looking for him to be a little bit less likely to be successful today. And against Colorado, who is a team that is coming off of a series win, and now they're playing the first game on the road. I like the idea that they can carry that momentum forward. And I also like the idea that Skubal can get hit, especially because Colorado is a team that's ranked number 5 in total offense, and they're number 8 against left-handed pitching. So this is not going to be a lineup that he's going to be able to just mow down and go through. So Senzatella is another guy that is he's hit or miss when he's on the mound, and he was a miss the last time out. So I'm expecting him to be a pretty good opportunity here. So I like the battle here. Detroit is not hitting. Detroit's not scoring many runs. They miss Javier Baez in their lineup, and then the other guys just aren't hitting. So I like Colorado today. I got him at plus 120. I'm trying to see what the number is right this second in that game. Looks like it is. You could probably get him at plus 130 now. But still, I like the idea. Go ahead.
I didn't say anything.
Oh, okay. So I like Colorado. I also like the next game is Milwaukee, Philadelphia, which is one I left on the table yesterday. Well, I shouldn't say it that way. They scratched them off at the last one. And this is Wheeler and Hauser. Now, Wheeler last time out, I think the wheels fell off for him. He got smashed, and that's good when you look at not the day that you bet him, but it's good for the next time out. So and he matches up real good too, because Milwaukee is not hitting still. I think they're 26th or 25th in offense, 25th. And Wheeler's progression ripe, so he should have a really good game. And he's facing a team that he has done well in the past. And Hauser is a good pitcher that nobody gives a lot of credit to, but he's not a big strikeout guy. So that means balls are going to be in play. And you've got the Philadelphia offense, who ranks number 2 in baseball right now, and Castellanos is a player that has done well against Hauser. So I like the idea that you're going to be able to get Philadelphia, where Milwaukee's not going to score very many runs, and that Philadelphia has the opportunity to jump on Hauser a little bit. So I'm going to play this one in the first 5 minus a half a run, because I can get it at 115. So that was play number 2. And then play number 3 is in Cincinnati today. You got St. Louis and Cincinnati playing against each other, and this is Dakota Hudson against Tyler Mahle. And Mahle's probably the best pitcher the Reds have, other than Castillo, who hasn't pitched yet. So he's off of a bad start, but he's had real good success against St. Louis. And St. Louis is number 23 in offense, Jeff. And, we talked about St. Louis, how they were going to be a top-notch offense going forward at the beginning of the season. And I will tell you, Arenado is having a great start to his year. But some of the other guys need to start hitting. I mean, I can say this about everybody in Major League Baseball, but Goldschmidt's not hitting the ball real good, even though he had a pretty good game yesterday. And O'Neill, he had a great opening day, but he hasn't really put everything together that way either. So I like the idea that Mahle's going to pitch pretty good. And the Cincinnati Reds offense is last in baseball, but it's not just last in baseball. It's like last in baseball by miles. They could score 15 runs today and still be last in baseball. So it's not a pretty sight for their offense. And that then leads to Dakota Hudson, who has done pretty well against the Cincinnati Reds. Of course, these guys are in the same division, so they see each other a lot. So I like the idea that both of these guys do well against each other. So I'm going to play this one, Cincinnati and St. Louis, under 4.5 in the first 5 innings, and that's a plus 100 number. Now, I am on another game But I don't know that I can really take it and release it because I'm on the Mets today in Williams. But my number that I played earlier today was minus 130, and I can see it's minus 140, minus 142, minus 145, which is a number I wouldn't play. So I'm not going to release that on here as a play that you should go out and run out to the window and bet. And if you have any other questions about any of the games, I'll be glad to answer them. I will tell you, Washington, you see an A. Sanchez there. That's not Annabelle Sanchez. They signed him. This is Aaron Sanchez. Aaron Sanchez is the former young stud pitcher that the Toronto Blue Jays had probably 6 years ago. He did pitch for San Francisco a little bit last year, and they've tried him around a little bit. He just hasn't really caught on, but that's who's pitching today in Washington. You also have a kid whose name is Bo Brisky, who's pitching for Detroit today. And the interesting thing that I thought about him is that a lot of times you go find these guys and you go, who is this guy? And you find out, oh, well, he was a number one pick and a first round pick or a second round pick or whatever. Well, this guy's a 27th round pick, and he's just one of these guys that I think he's 27 years old or something. Maybe he's younger than that, but he's just kind of moved his way through. He is certainly, let me just put it this way, he is certainly a fill-in spot starter. He is not a guy that's going to have any shot at staying in Detroit. So he is, and he's the underdog going in as a home team today in the second game against what do you call him, the Gomber effect. And then the only other one that I thought probably needed addressed was last night. Cleveland had McCarty listed as the starting pitcher for them today, and that switched to Quantrill today. And Quantrill is a much, much better pitcher than McCarty is. And Quantrill is off of COVID-19. This is his first day eligible to be back, and they got him on the mound. So I'm not sure what to expect from him because, you got to take those 4, 5, 6 days, whatever it is, for COVID rest. And then, I'm not sure what he was doing during that time. I'm sure he was quarantined or whatever, so he's not allowed to actually go and throw. So I'm not sure how long he's going to be able to go today. And he's facing Cortez, who's been really good. And if you haven't ever watched Cortez pitch, he's all goofy, man. I mean, he's got goofy timing and goofy arm angles and goofy everything. So it's just interesting to see how all that plays out. So anyway, that was just a couple other notes.
I'm going to go back, first of all, guys, and listen, these glasses here that I cleaned 25,000 times sometimes don't work. I said that Utah was 8, they're 6, okay? And actually the computer model has it at 5. Computer model has it at 4.5, and the actual overnight number was 5. It is 6. It's 5.5 now at the Mirage. I wanted to clarify that there. Really, nothing stands out to me in the NBA. Again, we've been just kind of monitoring, crunching, and just taking everything in for the first round. We'll be dabbling when we see fit, and also be getting ready for the second round there. In the major leagues today, Scotty brought up game 1. Now, listen, guys, I've been down this road a bazillion times. Okay, you get up early on a Saturday morning and you run to the window, especially during college football. You got to get some action in on the noon games, and why it kind of just gets the blood flowing while you're trying to recuperate from your bad Friday or your long night or whatever. And usually I always say this, you see people at a sports book or at a track, a racetrack, run to the window and start screaming numbers or screaming teams. You never see them running back to the window to cash those tickets. So just because there's action early doesn't mean you have to run to the window. With that said, now you got 1, 2, 3 games at 1 o'clock. I mean, honestly, I'm looking at some first 5 numbers. I do lean San Fran with Wood. Wood's been good. against Sanchez. Scotty talked about Sanchez there. I'm not going to go into a minus 160 or 61, but I can get a San Fran minus the hook, minus 120. I do lean that there. Scotty talked about Cortez. And Cortez opened up minus 120. Now he's minus 125 minus the hook there. I'm not going to dive in there, but I just wanted to bring that one up there. Zenzatel and Schoolable, again, we talked yesterday about this. I know the value here is with Colorado and Zenzatel at 8-4 versus a 5-17. Pitch and edge, I do lean Schoolable. I'm going to stay away there. Hendricks, I give them the edge against Pittsburgh, but staying away there. I like what you said with Zach Wheeler. Just absolutely, wheels did fall off there. I wouldn't pay that price. I do expect a bounce back. You can get him minus a half run right now, first 5 at even money. Scott, but here we go. Another classic. A guy that was throwing 2-3 miles an hour less than he's supposed to be in the spring games. You're winning, and that's Bundy. I'm not going to go in front of Bundy as much as I'd like to fade Bundy. I don't trust the White Sox until they start hitting. I'm not going to dive in there, and I'm again not a big Vince Velasquez fan. Again, another pitcher back in the day that was supposed to be good that has bounced around, and we're still waiting for. Kind of surprised at this one. Now, when you look at this on paper, you'd run to the window. Think about this, guys, for 1 second. Oakland, 8-7. Frankie Montas on the mound versus Martin Perez, who Scott has talked about at length. And we had him as a Red Sox last year. The 4-9 range is who we had first 5. Frankie only opens up at 125, now down to 123. First 5, you can get plus money on Oakland if you want to go there. I think Texas finds a way again. I think that their bats are heating up, as I'd like to say. I would lean Texas here, but I'm not going to get in front of that one. This one overnight here, Scott, you talked about St. Louis and Cincinnati. St. Louis 8-4. The Reds, worst team in baseball right now, 2-12. Tyler Mahle versus Dakota Hudson. The actual overnight number, I did see some St. Louis is minus 140. Currently, you can get Cincinnati minus 109. So if you believe in the flip, Cincinnati's the way to go here. First 5 right now, you can get Cincinnati. If you wanted to go shopping minus the hook, plus 125, or if you just wanted them to win, you can get them at even money in the first 5 there. Next game, our guy Alex Manoah. I love that guy. I got a lot of futures on Alex. Against Urquidy, who, again, good pitcher. We got stung real bad with Verlander first 5 yesterday. I lean Manoah. I am not going in there, though. 2 teams, 2 good pitchers, 2 good hitting teams. We shall see there. Next one, I'm torn because Garrett Whitlock, we have a lot of money invested him in our fantasy team, and we were getting great value with him coming in, getting a save, stealing a win. Now the Red Sox said, we've had enough. He's starting today. His first career start. The kid, if you have not watched this kid, he gets the ball in his glove and he just peppers the strike zone. Gonna be fun to watch. Small dog. Scott gave us the breakdown earlier this week on Verizon. Is that it, Scott?
Fire Rising.
Fire Rising throwing heat.
JP Fire Rising.
So I'll be watching that and praying for a Whitlock win. How's that sound? Gomber versus Brisky or whatever. Brisket, put it in your smoker or whatever you want to say with him. I lean Gomber there. First 5. We'll get back to that one. You know something, guys, listen, I was born at night, not last night. We talked about Dodgers. We talked about Padres. We talked about a playoff atmosphere. Padres got their ace on the mound, Mr. Darvish. And the Dodgers are favored. So let me say that again. You Darvish at home after a loss, 8:40 start, yet the Dodgers are favored. That's all I got to say. So you got to trust and respect the opening number. Not that I'm going to run to the window and bet the Dodgers. Yes, there's value with Darvish and the Padres. There's no doubt about it. But Vegas says, hey, we'll even give you a little plus money. Go get him. I'm not going to take the cheese here, but just be careful there. I'm going to say something right now. I don't say this very often. Actually, I'm going to save it for the free play, and I'm going to give our potential new sponsor. I said potential. We got a long ways to go. DraftKings a plug on our free play today. I don't do this. They're offering it. I'm just going to throw it out there. And Kansas City, Seattle. Listen, this Brash guy, every time he is pitching, the overnight line swings 30 cents. Last time they were big dogs and he came up as a favorite. They went box to wire. Today he faces Bubik, and he's a 159 favorite. I wouldn't touch that, but I would look at the first five. You can get Brash at minus 120 there. I'll go over the pucks real quick, and then I'll go to our freebie who we pushed yesterday. Can you imagine pushing on a damn baseball game? I find that hard to believe. Pittsburgh, Detroit, nothing. Carolina, New Jersey, nothing. Islanders playing real well. So are the Sabres. It's sneaky. Islanders kind of sort of playing it out. Minus 145. I expect them to win, but I'm not going there. Rangers, hot as a firecracker. Go to the Bruins, but the Bruins are minus 140 today. I expect the Bruins to win. I was at this game in November, the day after Thanksgiving, and the Bruins beat the Rangers. Same price, same resume, same everything. Look for the Bruins to win today. Tampa, who just shellacked Toronto, minus 165 against Nashville. Panthers, minus 150 against Toronto. Kind of intriguing with that one. I'll give you some pizza and beer money. Take the over the touchdown, which is 7 there. Yes, I said 7. That game goes over 7. Have some fun with that. And that's it for that. All right. Bear with me, guys. See if we can get this mouse working. Do. ECSI's freebie of the day. And as I said, I don't usually do this, but I'm staring at the page and they're offering it. I'm taking it. On DraftKings, rotation number 975, 976, Noah Syndergaard. First 5, minus 1 full run, minus 125. So that means if the Angels win by 1, we push. If it's tied, we lose. If they're up by 2 or more, we cash. On DraftKings, if you have a DraftKings account, our ECSI freebie of the day, rotation number 976, please list Noah Syndergaard. The Angels, minus 1 full run, minus 125. That's your ECSI freebie of the day. Scotty, closing thoughts.
Well, it's Saturday. We got, I think, 4 pitchers now making their 4th start. Things are going to start ramping up here pretty soon with the guys going a little bit longer. I think they're pretty close to 90 pitches now, 100 pitches. So you get the 4th and 5th, you don't have to worry about pitch counts anymore. So I think that's a good thing. And then we just got to get these offenses starting to turn things around. Batting 230 is not a good thing. So let's hope that the offenses can start playing, start getting the stuff going. Let's hope the managers can get out of the way, and let's let these guys play some baseball today. So I'm interested to see how some of this stuff plays out. I'm still interested in that Padres series because the Padres are all the Dodgers are our rivals. They're not. The Dodgers have one rival, and that's the Giants, and they could care less about the Padres. As a matter of fact, I think they beat the Padres 10 out of the last 10 times. So until you can beat the Padres, until you can beat the Giant or the Dodgers, in any way, shape, or form, you're not a rival to them. So anyway, I get it. You got a good team, and you got good pitchers, and you got some good players, but You're not the Dodgers yet. So anyway, sorry to poo-poo on the San Diego Padres players, but I like them in a lot of spots. I just don't like them against the Dodgers.
Everyone, today's a pivotal day in the week for the ECSI VIPs. We're floating. I actually did some homework. We're down 1.13 units, and that was after starting Monday 0-3. Some tough luck last night again. Should have went 2-0-1, and we should be on the plus side. But when I say it's a pivotal, in other words, if you put your bankroll at risk, you could really wake up chasing going into Sunday. If you're grinding it out day to day like we do, and you're getting yourself in our position today, we're going to take our time and sift through this board. We're going to hope to win a couple units to get to the plus side, so we can have some fun with our Sunday action parlay. So don't stress the small stuff. If you are in this for the long term, it's a marathon. So, unfortunately, sometimes you have to pay the man. So, again, we understand that a lot of you guys listen to us for our place, but obviously go to the window with your plays as well. So, with that said, if you're having a bad week as well and you're chasing a few units, ask us some questions about some games that you're seeing, what you're seeing. And we'll tell you what we're seeing. That's what we're here for. So have some fun. It's the last full week of April. Next weekend at this time, we'd be wrapping up the last day of the NFL draft. I think it's rounds 4 through 7, and those things get spit out like every 2 seconds. And these guys are just looking for content, and some of them just drag. Looking on page 32 and 33 for these guys, and they're not on their cheat sheets and their crib notes. And then we'll be waiting for Mr. Irrelevant himself. But that's next week. It'll be the last full week of the NHL as well. We'll be into most likely the end of round ones into round twos, and some good matchups there in the NBA. We'll be dabbling there for sure in some series. And we'll be first full month of the MLB, as Scotty says, we'll be getting more and more data. We'll start to see some of these teams turn it around, and some of them stay, playing that grab ass, 7-8, 8-7, and that's what a lot of the teams in the American League are doing. You win one, I'll let you win one. You win one, I'll let you win one, and that's what's going on. The cream definitely rising to the top. The Dodgers at 10-3, the Mets at 11-4. And no one else in double digits. The next closest is the Giants at 9-5, and your Cincinnati Reds. I'm going to say this again here. Your Cincinnati Reds at 2-12, yet favored today. Mind-boggling. So if you are wagering today, please do it responsibly. If you have a problem, pick up the phone. There's an 800 number available. Ask for help. Why? Myself and Scott care. We want to see you here today, tomorrow, next week, next month, through 2022 and beyond. From myself, Jeff Dawson at EC Sports Invest, from Scotty Webb at Webby20 MLB, we wish everyone a blessed day. Have some fun. Cash some tickets. Make someone else smile today. Get out of your comfort zone. And for everyone watching and listening, we thank you. We can't do this without you. If you're not following us, please do. On the social media platforms, and run on over to YouTube and Twitch at East Coast Sports Investors. Subscribe. It's free. Smash the like button. Tell a friend or two. We'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning.